Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for August 21st, 2024. Of course, my name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your beautiful hosts. That's right, I call this beautiful. I'm egotistical like that. Kevin, how have you been over the last week?
Been doing pretty good. Just getting towards the end of school. Not finished with school, but towards the end of this semester. And it's been too damn hot outside. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah. I've definitely felt it inside the old apartment during the day while we're waiting to put the AC on, because AC is expensive.
Yep.
So, it's been busy over here for me. Not watching a lot of movies as always. A lot of the movies I've watched are kind of research for an upcoming project. So I think I talked about that last week. So, but. That being done and said, let's go ahead and get into the news stories this week. And up first, Alien Romulus has the second biggest opening in the franchise's history. We will talk about this a little bit later, but it is the highest grossing movie of last weekend, finally dethroning Deadpool and Wolverine after 3 weeks. So, to be expected, one of the bigger, more, I would say, anticipated movies of the year, really well marketed. So, pretty substantial opening, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, we went to go see it, and you were geeking out the entire time, which is really funny to see when a friend goes to a movie and like geeks out about stuff. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a really good Alien movie. Was Aliens or Alien the biggest franchise opening?
It's actually a good question. Let me double check here. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out which one is the biggest. Let me look on boxofficemojo.com.
But if you haven't gone to see this movie, though, you should definitely try to see it in theaters or when it comes out on streaming, because it does take a different, like, horror element to it that sometimes eludes the Alien series after Aliens, I feel like.
I'm trying to see. Here we go. It doesn't really have any information there. Yeah, I can't really seem to find any information. It's probably going to be one of the newer ones, like Prometheus or Alien Covenant, just because they usually don't account for inflation or anything. So, but second biggest opening of the franchise, which is pretty strong. Kind of begs the question, why didn't they put Prey out in theaters? Why is it only on Hulu? But but moving right along, staying on the topic of Alien, though.
Romulus director Fede Alvarez wants to make an Alien versus Predator film and wants to co-direct it with the director of Prey. And I am all for this. I'm on this board. Give it to me.
I think if this is successful, and we know how successful Prey was, go for it. You could probably make it canon at that point if you really want to, but I wouldn't. Just leave it as like a fun movie. I don't know. I would like to see the two of them definitely work together, because I feel like Fede can definitely do the horror aspect and Dan Trachtenberg can definitely do the action aspect. So
yeah, and we don't see a lot of action horror movies anymore. The only thing I can think of is maybe The Crow that's coming up, but that's more like a revenge. Not
or like
really
I would say horror. Like Evil Dead Rise had some action to it as well, but it's not like action heavy. So yeah, I don't know. Staying on the same topic, though, Romulus director Fede Alvarez already has ideas for a sequel to Alien Romulus, kind of going on record saying that the planet that they are trying to get to in the movie may not be all that they're hoping it would be. And that could be the story for a sequel, which would be very interesting. But obviously it depends on how well this one does. No idea yet what the budget was, but it already has a $118 million worldwide box office haul as of today. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's, hopefully we'll get some more in this franchise, because I love this franchise to pieces. Like Kevin said, hearing me geek out over the littlest things in that movie.
Yep.
It is funny. it is more of a horror movie in the Alien franchise, but like none of it was as scary to me because I was just giddy over like oh, look at that lighting fixture kind of a thing.
Well,
so
there was one jump scare that got you, and
yes.
he literally jumped out of his chair, which was hilarious to me.
Yes. Yes, I will not. I will not fight that. No. We will talk a little bit about that later on, though, when we talk about the movies we watched this week.
Exactly. But next up, Despicable Me director, on a live Minions movie. I'm so sorry, live action Minions movie, and Garrett has in quotations that he will be first in line to see this.
No, I would not. But yeah, the director of the Minions movie director of like Despicable Me and several of the films has stated, God, I hope not, that they do not do a live action Minions movie. The same thing that all of us are hoping.
How would you even do that?
Exactly. That's why I don't think anyone wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Next up, Mattel and Illumination, speaking of Despicable Me, are in talks over an animated Barbie movie. Why?
Don't
maybe
they
to
have
make one
those
that's
already?
kids friendly. They're straight to DVD type stuff.
So
why do we need a theatrically released anime? We already had a huge success with Barbie last year. Why do we need? I don't know.
I'm right with you. This doesn't need to happen. The Barbie craze. I'm not going to say it's over, but that was last year. That was Barbenheimer. That I don't want to say let it die because that would be like in the history books of cinema, but it's like just let it stay there. Just let it be.
Yeah. Don't ruin the legacy, I guess you could say.
Exactly. But next up, Horizon Chapter 1 will debut on Fox this Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. Max. It could be on Fox. We never know. But yeah, it will debut on Max. We just saw, Nadia and I just saw this. I think it was a trailer or something like that, or on someone's YouTube video, but it was like the second chapter comes out August 16th. And when I looked at the calendar, I'm like, it's August 20th. Where did the second chapter go?
Yeah, we had spoken about that a couple weeks ago, how it was actually indefinitely delayed because of how much of a flop the first one was.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. If you want to go see it, it's a 3-hour Western movie with Kevin Costner's in it or directs it.
Oh,
okay. So yes to my answer.
Nothing. Next up, Beetlejuice is predicted to have a strong opening weekend. I mean, I could have told you this immediately. You have all the people who love the original. I am not one of them. I think it's kind of overrated. But there are a lot of people who love it. So of course, this is going to be, it's going to have a strong opening weekend for sure.
I mean, we talked about it when, I don't know, we were in our seats for Romulus, but we're like, it doesn't look good. Oh no, we watched the thing on it or something like before the movie, and it was like, yeah, it doesn't look good, and I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. Like the first one kind of appealed to me because of the cult following. This one just, I don't know.
Yeah, this one just looks very weak. So,
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if next up, Freaky Friday wraps up filming this week. So if you're excited for what it's not, is it really called Freaky Friday, or is it like Freaky Friday 2 or something like that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to fix that.
Oh, sequel wraps up this week. Oh, that's okay. But
yeah, I think it's called Freakier Friday. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, it'd be cool to see that, I guess, for nostalgic reasons, but that's pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah. We'll wait and see. If a trailer looks like it's going to be good, then we'll just have to wait and see what it has to say.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Borderlands has a box office record for 2024 under its boot. It has the biggest second weekend drop of 2024. Although it did hit a box office milestone. It did cross $10 million. which
10 million.
Yeah,
that probably doesn't even pay Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nope. The movie had a budget of $110 million and a marketing budget of somewhere around 10 to 30 million. And so it's already a loss of at least $90 million for Lionsgate.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And we'll talk a little bit about that more
when
we talk about the movies that we watched this week, because I went and watched it.
Yep. Knives Out 3 has wrapped filming. Excited for this one because I do like the other Knives Out. I watched the first one. I forgot about it. Super excited.
Yeah,
can't wait
to watch the second one. Yeah,
I did watch I watched the second one before I watched the first one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, next up, we got a new trailer for Megalopolis this week, the new movie from Francis Ford Coppola, legendary film director. However, this trailer is odd because the first third of it uses old critic reviews that are negative towards films of his that are considered to be masterpieces or well-regarded, like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. But the trailer uses either fake review quotes or review quotes from other movies from legendary critics who are now passed away or no longer critiquing, and it just uses fake reviews to boost itself. It is mind-bogglingly dumb.
I don't understand why go and do that.
Well, I think because the movie was all self-financed by Francis Ford Coppola, but then also when it started screening, there was a lot of hype. This is the new Francis Ford Coppola movie. He's the guy that did Godfather. He's the guy that did Apocalypse Now. And then people were hyped to see this. And then when they started screening this movie for distributors, they all went, ugh, really?
Oh.
And no one's really excited about this movie. And now they're trying to use that negativity to kind of be like, well, all these movies were considered kind of off at first, but now they're masterpieces. And it's like, you can't really just say that.
No.
It's kind of odd. So, I mean, yeah, I'll still go see the movie. I think visually it looks really cool, but we'll see if it works.
Yeah, I don't think it will. But Tim Curry returns to Horror in Stream, which has a sick movie poster. If you have not seen it yet, it looks real cool. And I don't know why. Like, I'm not aware of these movies sometimes because they just pop out and you're like, oh, well, that's coming out, or like anything that it didn't stand out to me maybe. And then when I saw the poster, I was like, wait, that looks sick actually.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason you don't see a lot of news, especially with like lower budget horror movies, is because they just don't have the same marketing budget as the higher budget ones or other genres. And so it's unfortunate because you do kind of have to seek it out. So,
yeah, I was going to say like Speak No Evil.
Yeah, that one has a huge marketing. Well, that's also Blumhouse too.
Yeah, that's true.
And the last piece of news here, the new Jurassic World film has apparently started filming. So super excited about this. I believe it's supposed to be coming out next year. Mm-hmm. Which it's a real quick turnaround time. Hopefully there's not a lot of computer effects.
And you know what? If they do not, I don't want to say reshoots, if they take their time and do delays on this, I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, let's just release it summer of 2026 and take your time, please.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, and that is going to be it for the stories this week. So nothing more else to talk about. We do have a comment in here. Our good friend Nadia over from Horror and More. Great channel. Go and subscribe if you haven't already. Hi, I still had problems with live chats, even with other live streams. So I have the Google Chrome now. What were you using before?
Oh, come on, it's Apple.
Oh, ew, Safari. Yeah, Google Chrome is better. As someone who works with websites and stuff all day long, Google Chrome is like far better.
Superior.
So glad to have you here.
Even though I'm on Firefox right now, just to stream.
Our friend Joey, they're just going to drive anything Jurassic into the ground. It's Universal's biggest franchise. So they're going to keep it going. And if they're able to inject some new life with this one, I'm all for it. It's one of Jurassic is just one of my favorite franchises, like nostalgically ever too. So I'm always okay with it to kind of see more. Mm-hmm. But alrighty, well, let's go ahead and talk about the trailers that came out this week. We had quite a few interesting ones. Mm-hmm. We already talked about Megalopolis using fake reviews, so that's kind of fun. But did anything stand out to you, Kevin?
Y2K. That just looks like a shit show in a movie, and I'm kind of down for it because we don't get those movies sometimes. or for like a long time, and it's A24 is making it. The cast looks really fun, and it looks like they were having fun doing it in the trailer, I should say. So
yeah, I would say it's probably been a hot minute since we've had a horror comedy. So really excited for that. Rachel Ziegler is a fantastic actress, so excited to see her in more stuff as well. For me, I also really like the announcement for Wildwood. Obviously, it's not a trailer per se, but we did get an announcement that Laika, the studio behind Kubo and the Two Strings and Coraline, it's their new movie called Wildwood, which looks incredible, visually at least.
Is it stop motion?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
There's also The Piano Lesson, which is coming to Netflix, which I think looks really cool, about a family's history with a piano based on a worldwide popular play, which is turning out to be like an Oscar potential film. So looking forward to that. And then I'm also going to call out The Substance, which we saw a trailer for Alien Romulus, and looks very interesting. Almost looks like a new version of the film Seconds that I had covered a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
But all right, that's it for the trailers. Kevin, take us away with the box office.
Box office. No surprise here, or maybe a little surprise. Alien Romulus with $42 million coming in first place. Deadpool and Wolverine still going strong after $1 billion last week, so we can add that $1 billion and $30 million there now. And number 2, it ends with us with 23.8 million. This was second, last week, correct? Yeah. So still doing good. Obviously, it must have been a decent movie. Twisters still on there, 10 million, and Coraline 15th anniversary sneaks into the top 5. And this one was in 3D, right?
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think you could see it in 2D too, but there was a 3D version. Kind of nuts to think that Coraline's 15th anniversary re-release made more money in its first weekend than Borderlands did in its first weekend. We're just going to keep hating on Borderlands. But nothing really too surprising here. Alien taking first place makes sense. One of the bigger releases of this part of the summer. And then Twister's still hanging on. So
yeah, which is good, because it kind of was. It's like a box office like summer blockbuster, but it's like not like the ones that you'll remember, if that makes sense. It'd be like, oh, this one came in third at the box office in summer of 2024, and they're like, oh, really? Okay, interesting, because you have these Alien Romuluses, you have these Deadpools, Inside Out 2, but this one always seems to be in the top 5.
Yeah. And that is it for the box office this week. Let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out this weekend. Up first, like Kevin mentioned earlier, we have The Crow. Soulmates Eric and Shelley are brutally murdered. Given the chance to save the love of his life, Eric must sacrifice himself and traverse the worlds of the living and the dead, seeking revenge. This movie's been getting interesting kind of attention before its release. A lot of people who are fans of the original, not too big of fans of the look of this one, but we'll see how it is when it releases this weekend. Up after that is Strange Darling, a movie that I've seen trailers for in theaters, and we saw the trailer before Longlegs for this one, Kevin. Nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. Very much looking forward to this one. Looks like another indie horror movie that looks like it could come out and be pretty strong.
I don't remember this one, TBH.
Well, you're going to have to watch the trailer, because we'll have to go check it out. Up after that is Blink Twice, the new movie with Channing Tatum from first-time director Zoe Kravitz. When tech billionaire Slater King meets cocktail waitress Frida at his fundraising gala, he invites her to join him and his friends on a dream vacation on his private island. As strange things start to happen, Frida questions her reality. Very much looking forward to this one. It's been getting some good reviews. It's got a pretty strong Metacritic score already of 79, so looking forward to that, which is an impressive number for a debut from a director. And up last is Greedy People. Follows the residents of a small island town who must navigate a sensational murder and the discovery of $1 million. A series of increasingly bad decisions upend the once peaceful community. This one looks pretty fun. We got the return of Joseph Gordon-Levitt with Himesh Patel and Lily James. This one looks like it's going to be a fun time.
Nice.
So, yeah. Can't wait to actually check that one out. It sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. Actually, kind of all four this weekend are... It's going to be a busy weekend for Garrett. So...
Yeah. Sounds like it. I did look up Strange Darling, and I do remember that trailer, actually. So
yeah, it looks really interesting. So... And the kind of like the initial reaction review stuff in the trailer was used to pretty good effect to kind of hype you up. So,
yeah.
Alrighty. And of course, that's going to be it for kind of all the scheduled stuff this week. Change up that music as we get into the back half of the show. Take it a little easy as we're going to talk about the movies that we watched this week. And then obviously we'll do the Wheel of Fate right afterward. But, of course, Kevin, I watched the same number of movies as I did last week, and you watched the same number of movies as you did last week.
Correct.
So I'm going to do 4 because my 4 ends with Alien Romulus, and then we'll start with your 2, which starts with Alien Romulus. So we can kind of go back to back.
Sounds good.
So, up first of the movies I watched this week is Stop Making Sense. This is the concert film from Talking Heads, the legendary concert film directed by Jonathan Demme, who's the director of Silence of the Lambs. Very, very, very much enjoyed this movie. I think it is easily the best concert film I have ever seen. I will not call it my favorite, though, because it's not really a band that I would say that I really enjoy listening to. But what makes it the best is the way that it's shot, the way that it kind of presents this entire experience. It feels so much different than any other concert film I've ever seen. It's immaculately shot. It's immaculately recorded. It is an absolutely fantastic time. I would highly recommend checking it out if you're a fan of music at all and want to see one of the best, which actually on Letterboxd is ranked the highest rated documentary of all time. So, very interesting there. Up after that is another documentary. There's the theme I was talking about. I Am Not Your Negro. This came out in 2016, and I had heard about this before, but wanted to check it out because I've been researching documentaries. And wow, this movie is pretty powerful. It uses some incredible imagery combined with its written and spoken word. This whole documentary is based off of the unpublished writings of James Baldwin, who is a civil rights era author. And this is from a manuscript that he never actually got published. But it uses his words written in the 60s around that time period, but then contrast it with images of today, but also images of yesteryear. It is just really powerful stuff. You know, it's not just another civil rights era kind of documentary. It is actually very, very powerful, and I would highly recommend it. So I gave it a 95 out of 100.
Nice.
Up after that, it was finally time to watch what apparently Silent Science calls the scariest movie of all time. And it's not, which makes, you know, whatever. But I was very disappointed after watching this movie. I will say on the positive side, I think Ethan Hawke gives a very good performance in this movie. I think that the villain, the kind of evil presence in the film, is actually a really cool idea. It's not just your typical demon. It's not like your, you know, Christian demon or devil type thing. It is something more, and it's a really cool storyline behind it, which I really appreciated. And while I'm not a fan of jump scares, the film does have a few that are pretty decent. In particular, there's one with a lawnmower that's really good, in my opinion.
That's the one that's talked about a lot.
But the rest of the movie is pretty boring. So whenever we're not with Ethan Hawke kind of looking into the things with this entity, the film slows to a crawl. The rest of the performances in the film just are not great. They're just not up to the same par as Ethan Hawke. There's not, like, it feels like everything with the other characters is tacked on to kind of, you know, add some semblance of something there. It's a very mixed bag. This is a movie that I thought that I was really going to enjoy, and I just didn't, which did lead to some disappointment. A couple of good scares here and there, a great lead performance, and a cool villain and idea behind it are just let down by, you know, the rest of everything else going on in the movie. So,
gotcha.
Unfortunately, 53 out of 100. And then we talked about already Alien Romulus. Prefacing this real quick, I am a huge Alien franchise fan. I love pretty much all the movies in there for various different reasons. Even the ones that are bad, I still enjoy them. Not only is this a great sequel, but it is a great film by itself. The horror aspect of this one is great, bringing in the director of Don't Breathe and The Evil Dead from 2013. Brilliant decision. He knows how to make it more scary. He made the face huggers more spider-like, and there was a lot more of them, so that freaked me out. And the practical effects. Oh man,
so good.
This movie is good. Almost all practical effects, and it works so well. The set pieces are great. The zero G moments are really cool when they're trying to figure out why they're in zero G. Production design, the audio design, the performances are all really good in this movie. If there's anything that I can nitpick, and it does take a couple of points off, the last third of this movie is just like the last couple. It's very predictable in kind of a specific event that happens, and I can't talk about it more because I don't want to spoil it, but it was very predictable for me as a franchise fan, so I was a little disappointed in that part. But the film is fantastic, easily the third best one of the series so far, and if you're more a fan of the horror aspect of the Alien franchise and horror in general, I would highly recommend the movie. But if you're more into the sci-fi stuff, you should still go see it too, because it's just it combines everything we love about the whole franchise into one.
I mean, I'm not as big of a fan as you are to it, but it was just a fun time at the movie theater as well. It was just I mean, it also helps that to my right, I have him geeking out over everything. We get to see a colony on another planet for the first time, and I'm like, cool. I didn't know that, but I loved it because it made me feel like, this is like he's enjoying himself, and it's not even like 10 minutes into the movie. He was like,
it wasn't even 5 minutes in. No. Like maybe it was a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and something happens, and I'm just like, whoa! Like, it was fantastic.
It was so funny. But yes, the horror aspect is in this. A lot more than I thought some other ones would, Alien franchise would. But it was the practical effects are just, we need more practical. We don't need digital sometimes. And they did this to a T. It was perfect the way that they used their practical effects. And I don't want to spoil anything because it just came out. So, but please go support this movie so he maybe can make a sequel.
And an AVP movie with
that would be awesome. And then my next one, I want to go through kind of like the Disney movies that are kind of like hidden under the bed or not talked about as much. And this one, a Goofy movie. It's not a good movie. It is kind of predictable, and Max kind of has his teenager phase, so he's all mopey and doesn't want to be with his dad, and his dad wants to be with him. But no one realizes, I guess no one has really thought that Goofy is a single dad in this movie, and a lot of people don't remember him being a single dad. He only has Max. We don't know anything about Max's mom or anything like that, so it's kind of a cool story to go with being a single dad instead of a single mom, which we see a lot, but single dad with son going on an adventure, and it's really fun. So I give it a 71 out of 100, but I think I'm gonna find some more ones that I'm going to enjoy more in my adventures with this.
Yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to leave this next one till the end because I want to build up some suspense around it. This weekend I also went and saw Dee Dee in theaters. This is a new independent comedy that came out about a kid named Chris who is just left middle school and is just about to start high school in the summer of 2008, which is the exact same summer that I started high school. And so it was seeing someone who was exactly my age right when I was about to start it, basically the same exact time. It was so weird. With that out of the way, though, the film was a total surprise to me. I thought the trailer looked decent, but the movie did actually surprise me a lot more. Performances are fantastic, even though sometimes this movie gets really cringy and really painfully awkward. But that's how we were back during those days, and it makes sense. This is really a snapshot of the director Sean Wang's life and it really feels like that. This is just kind of a couple of weeks period in his life, and you can tell. And it works very, very well. Isaac Wang is fantastic as Chris. I don't think he's going to get the Oscar nomination, but really I could see him getting a nomination. Joan Chen, who plays his mother, is also incredible, bringing this like warmth and kind of motherly presence that I haven't seen in a while. But if there's anything that's, any criticism I'd have, like, it's like, I think this movie's good, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to watch again. It's just like, as good as it is and as connected as I felt to it, it was also really cringy and really like awkward. And I can't stand that socially and just kind of being around that. And so like, it's not the easiest movie to watch. So, but it was a great time. One of the better movies of the year so far.
Nice.
After that, continuing my research into documentaries, I watched the 2021 documentary Navalny, which is about Alexei Navalny, the prominent Russian critic of Vladimir Putin, who was running for president. And as he was running, he was then poisoned with a nerve agent and was flown to Germany to recover because the Russian hospital was not letting him leave and not letting his family see him. So they let him go to Germany, and then he got the healing, found out exactly who poisoned him, where they live, and you see some crazy stuff in this documentary, which you would not believe if you were not seeing it with your own eyes as it was happening. This is a documentary that feels more like a political thriller than it does a documentary. And it's so incredibly engrossing, and I would highly recommend it. I'm not going to spoil anything else that happens in this because there's some crazy shit that happens in this movie, and it's real. Unfortunately, for those of you who don't know, Alexei Navalny ended up dying in prison 6 months ago in Russia. So, what's the word I'm thinking of? Feeling for the family. Hopefully he is
condolences.
At peace now. Condolences. There we go. Condolences to the family for sure. May not have been the best candidate for president, but was speaking his mind and it was killed for it. So, up after that, I watched the 2004 action sci-fi film I, Robot, and I did not like this movie. My brother idolized this movie when he was younger, listened to the music, dressed like Will Smith's character. It was pretty funny. The problem is the idea is great. By taking Isaac Asimov's original sci-fi novel and adapting it to a modern day, sure. But it fails in that part by bringing it into the modern day and putting in all the action parts and putting in why is Shia LaBeouf in this movie and why is he annoying? Like, there's so many like odd choices that just make it fall flat. Like, it could have been a much better adaptation with a philosophical or societal underlying story, but it just does nothing. And also the movie's really ugly. It has this weird blue filter over everything. The visual effects have aged like milk, and it's just very ugly. So even for the time, I remember it being ugly. So, but yeah, that's iRobot. Now let's talk about the big one that I'm sure everyone wants to know about, and that is Borderlands. Now, Kevin already saw my review. I think he liked my review.
Yeah, I did.
So I'm just going to go ahead and put this up here. Borderlands is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. And it's not in the fact that like it's just a bad movie, because it is. It is like, because I am a huge fan of the Borderlands series. I've played all the games. I really enjoy them from a gameplay standpoint. This movie is insulting. It is literally like, oh, you're a fan of this franchise? Fuck you, is basically what it is the entire time. Like, I have never walked out of a theater angry because of a film. Like, I've walked out of films angry or something because, like, that was the point, right? Like Blackfish, why are we treating orcas like this? Or, any documentaries about a sore subject, right? But this one is legitimately trying to be an entertaining action comedy movie, and it fails at every single little thing it does. The cast is all 20 to 30 years too old to be playing who they're playing. None of them are decent choices either. Like, maybe Cate Blanchett, but Cate Blanchett 20 years ago would have been better than, her now. Like, Kevin Hart is not Roland. Whoever made that decision needs to be fired. I thought the only good casting would be Jack Black as Claptrap, and he shits the bed. Like, makes the character annoying.
Really?
The only decent actor in the film, the reason why this movie gets 1 point is the actor playing Krieg, the psycho. He's fine. Like, that's literally why the movie gets a point. The villain is bad. The story is nonsensical. even for non-game fans, and the film feels made by committee as opposed to a director with a vision, which makes sense because this movie went through production hell when it was trying to get made. This movie sucks, and the problem is that it sets back what we've done. We've come so far with video game adaptations. We did well with Pokemon with Detective Pikachu. We did well with Super Mario Brothers for people who really enjoyed it. I didn't, but I know a lot of people did. It was also successful. The Sonic movies have been getting some very decent reviews. We've also had great TV shows: Castlevania, The Last of Us, Arcane, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. All these shows are fantastic, and this honestly sets us back to square peg one. Like it is that bad.
I know you can spoil this for me. Does it talk about any of like the vault hunting and anything like that in this movie?
In what way?
Like just I didn't play Borderlands 1. It's not based off of one of the games, correct?
No, it ignores every other game. It ignores all the stories of the games. This movie is not canon. None of it takes place in the same universe as the game.
Why even make it?
Exactly. That's the point. Why was this movie made? And why is Gearbox, the company that makes the game, so excited about this movie and still defending it right now? It is fucking pathetic. I'm sorry I'm cursing so much. This movie is awful, and I'm just getting angry that I remember that this thing exists. I might actually buy this movie when it comes out so we can do drinking games with it. That's the only reason you should ever watch this movie.
It's like in the third one, you're in Borderlands 3. There's the brother and sister that would be like the main villains in this movie.
The Calypso twins,
yeah, but it's like I don't know. Like,
where's Handsome Jack? Where's the villain from the first movie? Where's the Calypso twins are not good villains, but even they would have been better than this movie was. This movie has nothing in it. They hunt for a vault, sure, but Lilith comes there and she's like a bounty hunter, not a vault hunter, which is what she was in the first fucking game. Like, she doesn't have her powers when she comes to, and I'll spoil that. I don't care. When Lilith doesn't have her powers when she comes to Pandora in this movie, when she does in the game. They just go for some bullshit. You had the power in you all along kind of story, and it doesn't fit whatever the fucking game's supposed to be. Tiny Tina wasn't in the first game. Krieg wasn't in the first. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to get off this topic because I'm going to get more angry. Fuck this movie. And that's it for the movies we watched outside of the wheel spins this week. So let's go ahead. Let's see here. It's okay. That's me with every horror movie. Get it? In regards to what?
I think Sinister.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I
might have to expand on it. It's been a while. We were doing all the movies and stuff, so sorry if I'm not getting the proper kind of messaging with that. I'll only take an AVP movie if it's somewhat based on the Capcom game, since the other two AVP movies that were made stunk. Yes, they both stink. I think that the first one is still a little bit enjoyable because it's a bad movie. The second one is just straight awful.
They're fun to watch, though. I think
I would want to see like Aliens and Predators, but against the Colonial Marines, like that, which is what he's saying with the Capcom game, I believe. Like I would want to see them like where the humans actually stand a chance, and it's not just modern day humans. Hey, but you gave it a 1 out of 100, so I had a chance. 1 out of 100 because one single actor in that movie was decent. I'm not even saying good. It was decent. I would have given it a 0 out of 100. They're probably defending it so they can try and get something back. 100%.
You can't get it back though if you have all of these bad reviews. Just come out and say, "Hey, that's a mistake. That's on us. That's our fault."
Also, I forgot to put it. I forgot to put it into our news stories, but it is actually already coming to streaming, like rental and purchase for streaming on the 30th of this month.
Are you kidding? In 9 days?
No, because they're going to try and make their money back that way.
Well, they probably will because of how bad it is and people want to see it.
Maybe. That's why Madam Web has been making decent headway because it released on Netflix and it was like super popular in there. The second one would be fun if I could see it. Oh, for AVP? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very dark movie. Lighting is not very good in it. The Capcom one is based on the beat 'em up. Oh, okay. Cool. I couldn't remember if it was like the more first-person shooter one or if it was a different one. So. It was in regards to you reacting to Romulus. Oh, okay. Being like, look at that. Yeah.
It was so funny when you were doing it.
Honestly, it just makes the movie experience better for whoever's sitting next to you, unless you're annoyed by that kind of thing. You know,
no,
I'm sure there's a lot of people in relationships out there that go to see like Deadpool and Wolverine, and the fact that their partner is like, "Oh my god, do you know who that is?" The other person's just like, "Yeah, I get it. It's fine." Like,
yeah, but that's what makes a movie experience like enjoyable. At least for me,
yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, that cameo's in here. I didn't see that, or
yeah.
Even though I didn't know what was happening in Alien sometimes because I'm not a really big Alien fan like you are, but hearing you 5 minutes in, oh my gosh, we've never seen a colony on another planet. I'm like, cool.
Well, but also too, like the colony looks just like the one from Aliens, and that's why I was freaking out too.
I just loved it.
While we're on this topic, let's go ahead and talk about the movies from our wheel spins this week. Kevin, let's go ahead and do your short first.
Yeah, my short, Little Red Riding Rabbit. It's this Little Red Riding Hood if she was annoying, and the rabbit and the wolf are just the same. It was good. Animation still really, really good. The Bugs Bunny really funny in this movie. This short, and the wolf is really funny as well. But the only thing that I gave it a little bit down on is because of Little Red Riding Hood being that annoying on it.
Well, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
I think I know exactly what short this is just by you saying that. Next up was I watched The Three Little Bops, which Kevin watched a couple weeks ago. And I really like this one. I think it has a surprisingly dark ending, which is kind of fun. And some really great music throughout the entire thing. We'll turn this down just a little bit. But I also really like the art style of this short. I think it was really cool looking at. I love the 50s art style, and I guess the 60s as well for Looney Tunes. Just really strikes a chord with me. It's not the most inventive retelling of the Three Little Pigs in the world, but the music, art, and vibe of the whole thing, and it is different enough. So I think that it does make it stand out a little bit. Mm-hmm. So your first movie, though, Kevin, is
Collateral. Yeah, Collateral. With it's not Tom Hanks, but
Tom Cruise.
Thank you, Tom Cruise and
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx. Very interesting concept. Have you watched this movie?
Yes, I actually got this on the wheel spin a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very interesting movie. And it actually is really good on how it's paced and how the characters kind of vibe off of each other, and how they get
got happenings at the Hannah household over there.
But yeah, so it was very interesting, and Tom Cruise being a hitman is like really cool to kind of see his, like, I don't know, I want to say like darker side into a movie, but the way he comes at it so methodical and so planned out is really awesome, because that's how Jamie's character is. Oh, it take me 16 minutes to get here if I take this road, and so they're basically the same person but doing two different jobs.
Yeah. Collateral is a pretty great movie, and I think that once we're done with the Mission Impossible films, Tom Cruise has said he wants to go back and do more films like it. He wants to kind of get into the R-rated side of things again.
That would be cool.
So, first movie that was on my list this week is The Hit List from 2011, and oh boy, this was straight to DVD schlock. But I think that this movie has a really interesting concept. The idea that a man gets drunk after like a day from hell and just starts chatting with a stranger at a bar, and that bar patron that he's chatting to happens to be a hitman who is mentally unhinged, and he makes a list of all the people that wronged him in that particular day, and the next day the hitman starts killing all those people, which, interesting idea, really cool concept. But when you have bad performances in this movie, really uninspired directing, and a action that's just pretty dull, it's not that great at all. It's actually really bad. But I think that the idea behind this, and I think that it's kind of cool to see Cuba Gooding Jr. take a role like this, kind of like in his Liam Neeson phase of just taking action movies for the paycheck, I'm sure. He's kind of flat and dull, but it's out of his wheelhouse. I haven't seen him do anything like that before, so got a couple points for that. It's just such a dull movie, and there is a really fun part where he's chasing the main character and the main character's wife through a building, and the way that he's like walking and talking is just like Homer Simpson in the Shining parody that the Simpsons did. That's exactly what it reminded me of, and it was just so bad that it was funny. Yeah, this movie wasn't anything special. Would not recommend it. Don't go out of your way to see it. If it's free on something like Tubi or YouTube, I would still stay away, but that's just me.
Hey, but you'd rather watch this in Borderlands, just saying.
Oh, 100%.
Right. My next one up, Final Destination. This is a great 2000s horror movie with CG that's pretty good. It's not like the worst, but it's not also the best. But it's a very good horror movie based on death coming, which wasn't done at the time. So thinking about it that way, I watched this before. I really enjoy it. This is why I don't fly on planes half the time either, because of that first sequence. Or there's the other sequel, there's a roller coaster ride. That's why I'm deathly afraid of roller coasters, but I'll still go on them because they're fun. It gives you a different sense of horror, I feel like. And that's what's kind of nice about the Final Destination franchise is the horror of knowing or the horror of not knowing when you're going to pass. And that I gave it a 97 out of 100 because this is a really good movie and a really good start to a franchise movie as well.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. And I think that's why I enjoy it. More of a guilty pleasure for me. But yeah, I definitely get it. All right, last up for me was American Sniper from 2014. Gave this movie a 55 out of 100, and after all this time, I think this movie is just okay. I think that it's a well-performed film. Particularly, Bradley Cooper is very good in this movie, and Sienna Miller is fantastic as well. But I think that this movie does drag whenever it's not in its action sequences and its kind of war setting. The film drags a little bit. Except for its last act, I would say. But even the action scenes are pretty formulaic. They're well done, but they do feel slightly cookie cutter. I would still rather watch a film like Black Hawk Down if I wanted some kind of modern war film action. Overall, I'm just very disappointed in Eastwood's direction. There's just nothing that makes this feel like his own movie. It just kind of feels like something that was manufactured to I don't want to say cash in on the hype, but obviously Chris Kyle was a recent person who had passed away when this film came out, so obviously it came out as a celebration of his life, even though Chris Kyle's probably not the best person on the planet. I would say I did walk away from this movie feeling a little sick to my stomach, just because I don't like seeing I guess this movie is propaganda, 100%, and American exceptionalism and propaganda. It just feels like it was pulled off an assembly line, like I said, to make certain kinds of people emotional. And I think that a movie like this should make you question war. It shouldn't be glorifying it like it does. It should be making you think that war is a really bad thing, which is what all war films should do. Is have an element of this is bad, especially if it's a serious war movie. If it's like an action comedy, like Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, that's more for fun, like an Indiana Jones type thing. Whereas this is going for a serious story. And again, Chris Kyle's on record saying that the only thing he regrets doing over there is not killing more people. And when this movie he's killing women and children, that doesn't really sit well with me. And so I do walk away with a little bit of a sick stomach, but. It is still a well-performed movie. Did give it a 55 out of 100. It is okay.
Yeah. Must be a difficult movie to watch sometimes, too, because of what he had to do, unfortunately.
I think it's not... I wouldn't say it's difficult because of that. I would say it's difficult because there is no remorse.
Yeah.
He goes through PTSD later in the film, but that's related to not saving more of his comrades, not because of lives he took. And that's really what kind of sits off with me the most, is just, and I know people are like that, but should we be celebrating them? I don't know. But the ending of the movie is really emotional, I would say, even if you're not really a big fan of the guy. It is emotionally and it's well done. So, all right, let's go ahead and see here. Isn't Cuba Gooding Jr. in jail? I don't know. Is he? Is he in jail? No jail time after complying with terms of conditional plea agreement. Nope. I guess he's not in jail, but he was in prison. Or not prison, in court. Looks like he is facing new sexual assault charges, so that's fun. It's not actually fun, but I didn't know that. High fives, Kevin. I hate flying too.
I'd rather drive everywhere if I could.
You're more likely to get struck by lightning than that, or get bit by a shark.
Okay. I totally understand that, but I'm driving, or if I take a train is cool too. Like the bullet train in Japan. Oh, I would love to do that instead of fly. Just go everywhere in that thing.
But how are you going to get to Japan?
Okay, you know what? I just take some oxycodone and just fall asleep on the plane. It's fine.
Or watch a movie. Watch a couple movies.
All right, I would probably sleep, to be honest. Maybe get like
that's
a
going to
red
get
eye.
You through it. Yeah, 100%. Red eye flights are even cheaper, I think. So you'll be fine. But alrighty, let's go ahead and get into our favorite part, which is, of course, the wheel of fate.
Fortune.
Oh, that's a different
copyright.
wheel.
That's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We can't legally talk about that. You're going to get us in trouble, Kevin. Thank you for doing that. Really appreciate that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and enter in the movies that our good friend Tuan had asked to put in here. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. So if anyone has any movie suggestions you want to add in, let's go ahead and go. Nadia says, it's like Claritin. You can't have allergies if you're sleeping all day.
Yeah,
100%.
She told me that one time, and I started smiling because that is so true.
There you go.
I've never heard of that before she said that.
Let's see here. The Ruins. We have both watched The Ruins,
Mm-hmm.
so we cannot add that, unfortunately. But Final Destination 2, I will add to the list. I have not seen it. I mean, I've seen it covered, but I have not seen the whole film. Let's see here. Joey says the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which is, I haven't seen that for a while, but I know it's good. Batman Beyond Return
DuckTales,
of the Joker.
Movie. Oh my gosh.
DuckTales movie. Treasure of the Lost Lamp. That's the name of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then An Ache in Every Steak.
Garrett, you know what's cool about this wheel? If you drag it and do half screen and look at the small thing, it looks like one of those illusion.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh no! Bring your StreamYard to one side of the screen.
What are you talking about?
Drag your browser. Oh, can you not do it, actually? Maybe you can't. Never mind.
It's on half my screen right now.
Oh, I was saying look at the bottom screen where you have the wheel. It looks like one of those like trippy illusion things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you look towards the center of it, all the colors blend together.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Let's see here. We both already covered Tarot. Mm-hmm. I saw it in theaters. I did not like it. I know you guys did, but I did not like that movie. So how is the ant and the aardvark? We have not covered it. It is on the wheel, and it will potentially get landed on this week. We'll have to wait and see. Any other movies that you would like to add to the wheel? Still waiting on one more from Nadia, a movie that we have not covered yet. Let's see. We'll give it another minute or so, and then we'll spin the wheel. Kevin, what are you kind of hoping for this week?
I don't know. I've had some good ones, so I'm kind of down for anything.
Like, I've had some good ones. I'm down for a bad one.
Maybe. No, I don't like bad movies because they kind of get me like in the mood of not wanting to watch a movie sometimes. Because you're like, what did I watch? Beverly
Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2.
Oh god, it was horrible. And I'm like, is this gonna be like acting in all of these movies like that? I'm like, I know it's not, but it's gives you that in the back of the mind kind of thing.
It says Return of the Living Dead. That's already on here as well.
I'll give one.
Requested a couple times.
I'll give one from Nadia. Is
Aliens
Critters.
in the Attic. There we go.
Oh, I was gonna say Critters.
Well, we'll have to wait for next time for that one. Alrighty, let's go ahead and we're gonna spin the wheel. I'll go first this time, Kevin.
Okay.
Let's see what I get. Where's it gonna end up? No one knows.
Well, it looks like a short one. Short.
I already watched Drive.
Yeah. And I've already seen it, so we can take it off.
Where is Drive on here? I don't know why it's still on here then. Maybe someone requested it, but then we just didn't see it when you made your suggestion.
Yeah, probably.
All right, spinning the wheel. Let's see what it goes.
Film. That's Serbian film. That's right.
Yeah,
there.
I do want to watch it just to see how how off it is or whatever. Well, spin it again. It was almost Kevin's pick for Garrett. It was one away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Come on. Something I haven't seen.
The and in the hard word.
Hey, there we go.
The and of
I misspelled it. Let's see here. Is this available streaming anywhere? The ant and the aardvark.
From 2021.
I'm not seeing anything from 2021. I'm just seeing an animated short from 1969. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Nothing on. I'm not seeing anything on Letterboxd there, sir. The 2021 film. There's nothing showing up here for 2021. Nope. Not seeing anything on Letterboxd.
Okay, it's.
Let me check on Google. Oh! It looks like that's on your YouTube channel. Actually. Find it if you can find it. An indie stop motion picture. Okay, yeah, so it's on YouTube. Alrighty. Well, then we'll throw it on the list.
Cool.
Alrighty. And let's go ahead and spin it for Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
You've already seen Ferrari, so...
Yep. Damn, we're hitting these doubles today.
We're hitting them.
Yeah.
Malignant.
I have seen that. Oh,
have you reviewed it?
Let me see.
That's the question. We'll find out. Has Kevin reviewed Malignant? We'll find out here momentarily. Everyone's waiting with bated breath.
No, I have not reviewed it. I will watch it again, though.
Alrighty. Alrighty, so Kevin will be watching Malignant. We'll go ahead and shuffle it up and spin it again for me. Alright. Watching Sister Act.
With Whoopi Goldberg.
I've never seen it, so it's going to be an interesting week. Alrighty, let's go ahead and shuffle it up and get Kevin's second movie or his short. We'll find out which one.
my pick for myself.
Nope, it's not how it works. That's called the movies you watch outside the Wheel of Fate. Oh, so, Maleficent 2!
Oh, I haven't even seen the first one.
Specifically! I think it's funny. You're watching Maleficent and Malignant.
Yep.
Alrighty. We'll remove that off the wheel. Let's go ahead and see if we can get our shorts here real quick. Come on, let's get a short. No, it is not a short. Let's see if we got one that is close.
Do I need to see Maleficent 1 to understand Maleficent 2?
Probably.
Damn it.
The whole idea is your shorts. It's the closest one.
Oh, okay.
Let me go ahead and get it off of here. That's hole as in like a hole in the ground.
Oh, okay. Oh, this looks good.
All right, and I will get my short here real quick to see what I will be watching this week. My closest one is Walkie-talkie something? Walkie-talkie hockey. Alrighty.
I thought you already got that one.
Nope.
No? Oh, maybe I remember you writing it down, maybe.
I wrote it down last week. I very much remember doing that.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, that is going to be it for the Wheel of Fate this week. So, Kevin will be watching Malignant, Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil, and The Whole Idea. Joey does say the whole idea was animated by one guy, Kevin.
Oh, I'll keep that in mind then.
There you go. And then I will be watching Sister Act, The Ant and the Aardvark, which is actually on Fox Pixar Media's YouTube channel. So, very interesting. And Walkie-talkie hockey.
Nice.
So, those are my shorts. And just because Fox Pixar Media, the Ant and the Aardvark is on your channel, it looks like it was either made by you or you're posting on the channel. Just don't be offended if it's something that I don't like. Fair criticism. So, just let you know ahead of time. I'm not saying I'm not going to like it. Just saying don't be offended if I don't. Alrighty. So those are our picks this week, though. And that is everything. Kevin? That's going to be it for this week. What was that? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry, Millie was barking.
Gotcha. But, yeah, that is going to be it for this week. A couple other comments here.
I forgot to say.
Is Foghorn's first appearance. Cool.
Oh,
What we're going to say?
who's that?
Foghorn Leghorn? The rooster? Well, I say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Foghorns.
Well, Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. No, Nadia and I went to Spirit Halloween today.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. It's spooky season, baby.
2 months away.
Yep. It's actually a month and 1 week, but who's counting?
I think spooky season starts when the theme parks start doing their Halloween events. And that's like mid-September.
I feel like it's spooky season when it's like the end of August, I feel like.
Or
good.
End of July.
Some
or
a whole year.
Joey says it's not even September yet.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hey, you know what? If Christmas season comes super early, we can have spooky season
If
early.
Christmas music is 2 months in advance, we can have spooky season 2 months in advance.
I'd rather have early spooky season than early Christmas season all year round.
Yeah. Yes.
But alrighty, everyone, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And, obviously, we do have our movie club show that goes live every single Friday. We just posted one for Seven Samurai last week. And this week, we are going to be covering the Hitchcock classic Rear Window. So very excited to talk about that one. We both really enjoyed that episode, recording it. And also, for those of you who don't know, we just put out a new video on Monday, which is our movie theater concessions tier list. It is a long video, but it's some pretty fun and spirited conversation about our favorite movie theater concessions.
Nadia has a lot of problems with them.
With both of us?
Yeah.
Well. You weren't on it, Nadia. Next time we'll get you on there, and we'll make a new one. Or actually, you should, that would be really cool for your channel. Video idea. Do a concessions tier list. Just saying. Because I'd love to hear what you have to say. I actually don't know what your concession stuff is. So it would be very, very interesting to see what that is. But and then of course, obviously, this show goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which you already know. But thank you so much for watching this week. We will see you next week live, but we will see you next Monday with a brand new tier list for the Spider-Man movies. So we're very excited about that. And like I said, the Rear Window movie club coming out next week. So for this Friday, excuse me. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.